Good day, everyone. So today we discuss about the combination of a given philosophers such as Descartes, Kant, Hegel, Feuerbach, Marx, and so on. The first is Descartes. For him, self is transcending and might go along with the outer world in the sense of experience and again guided by doubt. This does not actually mean that once you think it is already the thing in your mind is it is on the outer world. However, what we can say is you can form a thought on the you can form a thought inside your head, and that can be projected again in imagination, but different from the former thing of the outside experience. So the next one is of Kant. Although appearance and thing in itself cannot cohere, they are common in holding the ground of individuals' thought. So we can say that Kant further explain which thing in itself is unreachable, but the mind is again the separate aspect, which is the mind is able to transcend things to places through time, but the thing in itself is does not even know what how does it exist or its essence. So the thing in itself is unknown, even though. But the most interesting fact is that the mind is traveling through it, and this uses in order to arrive at the exact state of things, but not the perfect ones, since again they are unreachable and abstract. Another one to say is that of Hegel. Reason is on the being of those inanimate if these are described by individuals. Despite being various in thinking among beings, they have an in-between definition that can be agreed by both minds. So, for Hegel, the thing even inanimate has also minds if we if the thinking being, especially human, personify it as something that exists and has essence. So that can be an explanation in this ground, but there are more supporting evidence to say that we cannot clearly elaborate since those are indeed complex with one another. So let us proceed to Feuerbach. In his example is of the brutes and men are the same in sense of determining their own goal regardless of the fact that it cannot be reached by mere deeds but can keep in their thoughts untouched by one another. So these brutes and men can be both human because brutes are like we say barbaric people and the men are those belong to the civilized. But again they are thinking, they are they are determining the things themselves without being, let's say, distracted by the mere appearance. They keep on discovering reason, and so on and so forth. Let's go. So for now, let us proceed to Marx, which is an ego is an independent entity and being which is not controlled by God, made by another fallible being. So this is not entirely to say of his status as being a communist. That is a comical view, but we can take an insight with this because you let us say that there is no God, only humans which determine their own fate. So that is what we call freedom, and the existence of a human is answered by the ends of essence. If essence go before the existence, so human are not themselves but just machines that are made by another beings and so on. Last but not the least, to conjoin this view of philosophers, the shared common stand of the given thinkers is that a mind and the outer objects cannot determine one another. The said aspects are independent of their own set, so you cannot push or pull the state of things out of their state since they are trans they are journey they have journey of their own, let's say even the object, but this object is, again, we personify it as something that has essence, and because of that we keep it in our imagination, but only in our separate 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 image in our thought, but the thing outside in itself is again unreachable. So to add, let us have a thesis statement. The state of beings and objects are not predetermined since they get along with experience, which sense and things met and then gone through the inner thought of a sensitive or rational being. So this can align with the phenomena. You rely with a phenomena and your nomenon. They are both they are both complementing with each other, such as let us borrow certain things from Hume's, which to him they are both helping one another in order to to enhance one thought of a being. So that a simple explanation to say, and we can add it with others two supporting points. Let us say Hegel supported that science is a part of thought and cannot be separated from each other. These are helping thinking is are helping our thinking in order to arrive at the actual state of things. So so in other words, Hegel and other thinkers relied that doubt and sense are faculties of mind in the form of physical body encounter with the outer world. So example, a person who is learning both uses thought on what comes next in his deed and experimented using the experience. He or she will think about how things differ and become the same. This will go through the conclusion and so on. There is, let us say, cycle like the scientifical method, and to say let us have an insight to it. It is important to embrace both sense and reasons. Without this, thinking can be confused by changing appearance of things and also illusions here projected in our mind. So the second paraphrase of the supporting points, it is a lifetime doubt every thinking animal has, especially humans, in saying that even things themselves are changing but remain on their kind. Like, let us say, borrow the concept of Greek philosophy, Thesis, which things changing but remain on their species, their kind of their being. This is not saying because of fear, as what Kant says that the thing in itself are not determined by merely sense, and even as we cannot we cannot exactly know our future, know our end, since we are walking through these phenomenal surroundings, and that may be what we can say. So let us say if time does exist on its own without tags given by humans, how come this does exist in itself? Perhaps it may be imagined by a thought, but still far from its real distinction. Let's say, does time exist or it is merely the product of human imagination, just like a ridiculous quote made by Marx that time is introduced for the clock companies to sell more clocks. But again, we're not focused mainly on that thing. Is that we're still on that if this exists, but we rely on the phenomena. But the beauty in it is it's not really the existing and essence. It's not predetermined, and that's the beauty. You will find it. If the otherwise, it is more absurd because you are determined, and there you cannot reach the higher state of things because you are bound in the delusion of maybe a perfect uh, that pretending to be a perfect stand 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 of the things, but it is hindering you to transcend to the higher part or the higher images of things. So it is the insight is letting things themselves can be good choice so as not to be confused by things changes and their state. They are themselves and also go through time and space. So to further end this, we may conclude doubt is a start of thinking on things since they are changing and cannot determine themselves either, especially the inanimate ones. Even things and subjects changing, inverse or coherent with each other, are still on their being as thinking things and can be determined. It seems that is all for today. Thank you. We must live in our phenomenon.